Why does the black man serve the white man? Why does everything the black man do benefit the white man? Why does the black man say freedom is doing what I want to do? And why is it that everything he wants to do enriches the European?
Welcome to the desert of the real.
Peace, family. This is your brother, Mr. Holipsism. Oh, man. You know, I've just accepted that I'm going to be repeating myself all the time. I hate repeating myself, but I know I'm going to keep repeating myself all the time because I've done videos on this same subject matter previously, and it seems to be popping around every now and then that I have to go back and rearrange the words in a way to fit this particular situation. But this video is going to be called the Trayvon Martin Christopher Lane False Equivalency when reverse racism goes wrong. Initially, before this thing blew up to what it is now, I saw a tweet by this Repugnantan Conservatard black dude, bootlicking Negro called Allen West. And he tweeted this little gem. He puts in quotes, "We were bored and decided to kill somebody," end quotes. 3 black teens shoot white jogger. Will POTUS identify, who will POTUS, meaning President of the United States, identify with this time? Now, the story that he's referring to is that, first of all, two teens were charged with murdering an Australian baseball player just because they were bored. There was a third teen who is actually a white teen. So it was 2 black teens and 1 white one. So what I'll do is I'll destroy this whole thing in sequential order. Now, there seems to be some conflicting information on what the white teens said in court. Now, initially, when I referenced this source from the Daily News, and I referenced it from other papers as well, other sources, they said that he said in open court, as a matter of fact, I'll read the quote from the Daily News. It says, a third, age 17, they're talking about the white teen, who, by the way, they never mentioned his name, but they mentioned the name of the other 2 black teens, was accused of being an accessory after the fact and with driving a vehicle while a weapon was discharged. In other words, he was the getaway driver. That's just a fancy way of saying it. He was down with these guys, and he drove the car while they did the dirty work. He said in open court, "I pulled the trigger," but the judge directed him to remain quiet and said Tuesday was not the day to discuss the facts of the case. Now, when I first heard that, and I verified it through different sources that he says I pulled the trigger, well then my thing became, well, why did the judge tell him to be quiet? You know, so automatically my wheels started turning, because when you put out information like that, that says a lot right there. If he says in open court, I pulled the trigger, why is he telling him to be quiet? So there was every source that I've referenced says that he pulled the trigger, but there was only one source that stated differently, and I put the link in the description box. After further research, I saw this bit of information on a site called Mediaite. And Mediaite updated that Thursday morning, District Attorney Jason Hicks confirmed to Mediaite that Jones said, "I didn't pull the trigger." Now, based on all the information that I have, and since I love being, having credible sources and putting out credible information, that last source seems to be pretty solid enough for me to say that he said I didn't pull the trigger. It just makes sense, because I can't imagine him saying in an open court, "I pulled the trigger," and the judge saying, "Whoa, slow down, don't say that, son." It doesn't make sense. And it was actually confirmed by the district attorney in the case, Jason Hicks. So that's all I need. But it doesn't defeat the point that I'm making. This in no way changes the white kid's involvement in the murder, nor does it change the destruction of the reverse racism tactic, which is the overall point that I'm making with this video. The only thing it does change is who actually pulled the trigger. And by all accounts, it was either or both of the two black kids who shot the gun or guns and the white kid who drove the getaway car. So if the two black kids had such a problem with white people, why didn't they smoke the white person nearest to them that was rolling with them on some murder shit? So there goes that reverse racism angle. Next. Both black people and white people universally condemn all three teens. And I can speak about this personally because when I first heard the story, and it says that they shot this guy, he was minding his business, just jogging, Australian baseball player, just jogging, and these idiots shoot him because they were bored. They told the people, we shot him because we ain't have nothing else to do. Now, most civilized and rational people don't endorse killing people who are not aggressing against you and just minding their own business. If conservatards and repugnantans are going to draw a Trayvon Martin similarity to this case, the only common thread would be just that. An unarmed, innocent person minding their own business was shot and killed by an armed person. Do they really want to go down that slippery slope since their main talking point is that George Zimmerman was the victim? Next. What exactly would the President of the United States identify with in this case? Huh? What is he going to say? Oh, I remember that time I went jogging and these teenagers shot and killed me? The reason the President of the United States touched on the Trayvon Martin issue in the first place because he is a black man in America, and as one has been racially profiled, as he says, and followed simply by virtue of him being black. He can also provide some insight into why the black community is particularly sensitive to issues involving racial profiling and discrimination. To my knowledge, the President of the United States is not white. If he was, you wouldn't have such a problem with him. And he has not been shot and killed to my knowledge. So what exactly would he be identifying with and providing insight into the white community on other than what 99% of both black and white people say? Both black people and white people say this was a horrendous crime and all parties involved should go to jail. See, the problem is there's this syndrome going around, and people have talked about it before. It's called Obama derangement syndrome. And I'm going to give you something that Republicans cannot defend. This is definitive information here, and I dare any Republican or conservative to defend this, what I'm about to tell you. They had a poll, a public policy poll in Louisiana, and the question was, who do you blame for Hurricane Katrina response? Who was more responsible? President Bush, or I should say George W. Bush, or Barack Obama? Guess who won as being the one to blame for the Hurricane Katrina response? That's right, Barack Obama, who wasn't even president at that time and was a senator. I want you to look me in my face and defend that. You guys are so deranged that you're giving Barack Obama blame for things that he had absolutely nothing to do with. It would be, and then I know what they're going to say. Well, that was a gotcha question because, well, let me ask this. If I asked you, who do you feel is, who do you blame for the response to Hurricane Sandy? Barack Obama or Rand Paul? What would your answer be? Now, obviously, that is a gotcha question. I'm trying to see if you're stupid. Just like that question was asking them if if Barack Obama was to blame or if George Bush was to blame. They're trying to see if you're stupid. So yeah, it is a gotcha question, and they did get you, because an intelligent person would say, "Well, wait a minute. Barack Obama wasn't even president at that time, so of course President Bush is to blame for his response to Hurricane Katrina." That's what an intelligent person would do. But if you're a Republican or conservatard or repugnantan, I should say, oh, you tried to get that. Oh, that was a gotcha. Uh, yeah, that's the same gotcha as what year and date did 9/11 happen? Oh, that's another gotcha question. Next. What is the parallel you are attempting to draw with this case to the Trayvon Martin George Zimmerman case? It's an outrage that these three teens that shot that man are still free and haven't been arrested. Oh, wait. They were arrested immediately. Oh, well, can you believe how black people are celebrating the man's death and calling his killers heroes? Oh, wait. There's no evidence of one black person applauding the death of this man and calling any of his killers heroes. Uh, uh, well, well, where's Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson? Oh, wait, they came out for the Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman trial, and you called them race baiters and told them to go away. Now you want them here in an issue that you say involve race? Well, which one is it? Um, um, well, how in God's name could they have given the gun back to those teens that they used to kill that man? Oh, wait, that didn't happen. They didn't give the guns back to the teens. They gave the guns back to George Zimmerman in the Trayvon Martin. Move along now. Nothing to see here. You guys are a bunch of fucking clowns.